Hello everyone. Rats and mice are not just a nuisance. They are silent carriers of some of the deadliest diseases known to public health, from plague to typhus. Today we are going to explore rodents and rodenticides, focusing on mammalian vectors and how urban environmental control keeps these dangers in check. Rattus, the black rat, is a domestic rodent, an agile climber that infests roofs and ships and carries high public health importance. Rattus norvegicus, the Norway rat, is semi domestic, frequenting sewers, drains, and lower levels of buildings. And Tatera indica is a wild rodent serving as the natural reservoir of plague in India. The disease payload carried by rodents includes bacterial diseases like plague, Tularemia, and Salmonellosis, viral diseases like Lassa fever and encephalitis, rickettsial diseases like scrub typhus and murine typhus, and parasitic diseases like leishmaniasis and Chagas disease. The ultimate baseline for rodent control is environmental sanitation. Trapping and chemical poisons provide only temporary density reductions because rats require three elements to survive: food, water, and shelter. And denial of these is the most effective weapon in any deratization campaign. This involves three sanitation countermeasures. First, deny food through proper storage, collection, and disposal of garbage and foodstuffs. Second, deny access through construction of strictly rat-proof buildings, godowns, and warehouses. Third, deny shelter through total elimination of rat burrows by permanently blocking them with poured concrete. All chemical and trapping measures must be regarded as strictly supplementary to sanitation. For acute rodenticides, which provide single-dose lethality, the primary chemical is zinc phosphide. Its mechanism is that of a highly efficient poison which, when moist, slowly releases phosphine gas. A unique property is that it emits a garlic odor that is heavily repellent to humans and domestic animals but is completely ignored by rats. It is formulated in a 1:10 ratio with wheat or rice flour plus a few drops of edible oil to attract rats, and it kills within approximately 3 hours. It is extensively used due to its good safety record when delivered via bait boxes, its low cost and high efficacy, though it requires rubber gloves for handling. A legacy chemical in this category is barium carbonate, a white tasteless powder mixed in a 1:4 ratio with flour, though it shows weak performance and is largely obsolete. Chronic rodenticides work through multiple dose cumulative poisoning. The agents here include Warfarin, Diphacinone, and Coumafuryl. Their mechanism is as anticoagulants that cause internal hemorrhage, leading to slow death over 4 to 10 days, and they require repeated feedings. A complication is that continued use has created resistant Norway rat populations in Europe. In terms of bait tactics, the general mixing ratio is 1 part chemical to 10 parts grain plus edible oil. Zinc phosphide remains the standard, highly effective and low cost, while barium carbonate is considered obsolete, being weak, uneven, and easily detected by rats. For eradication operations, burrow fumigation is a highly lethal method capable of destroying both the rodent and its parasitic fleas simultaneously. The Cyanogas protocol uses calcium cyanide, known as Cyanogas or Cymag, in powder form. It is pumped into burrows using a specialized Cyanogas foot pump, and upon contact with ambient moisture, the powder releases lethal hydrogen cyanide gas. The application involves 2 ounces of powder per burrow, and exit openings must be promptly sealed with wet mud to trap the expanding gas. The application involves 2 ounces of powder per burrow, and exit openings must be promptly sealed with wet mud to trap the expanding gas. Due to extreme lethality to humans and livestock, these operations are restricted strictly to trained personnel, and sulphur dioxide is also utilized for large-scale ship eradication. Bringing this all together, the field manual synthesis of the vector control arsenal shows us the complete picture. Acute rodenticides like zinc phosphide target commensal rodents through phosphine gas release, enabling rapid population culling but carrying extreme toxicity to livestock. And fumigants like Cyanogas target burrows and fleas through hydrogen cyanide, enabling total burrow eradication but requiring specialized handling. Let us quickly summarize the rodenticide toxicology matrix we just covered. Acute rodenticides act with a single dose and are ranked into four safety tiers. From Tier 1 ordinary care agents like zinc phosphide, which kills in about 3 hours through phosphine gas release, up through Tier 2 maximal precaution and Tier 3 too dangerous for use chemicals, down to Tier 4 obsolete agents like barium carbonate. Chronic rodenticides such as Warfarin work through cumulative dosing over several days, causing fatal internal hemorrhaging, though resistance is now emerging in Norway rat populations. Fumigants like calcium cyanide offer powerful double action control, killing both rats and their fleas, but require highly trained personnel due to extreme danger. And chemosterilants remain experimental, aiming for sterility rather than lethality as a future control method. Hope you have understood about the topic insecticides. If you found this video useful, please like and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.